Hello, my miraculous friend. Welcome to the Q&A on creative manifesting. I'm Reverend Frances Faden, and I'm so grateful to get to be here with you to answer your questions that you have about the manifestation process. And I want to know what you're working on. What is it that you're working on manifesting? And I want to know what your questions are and how I can help you. I'm here to support you. So there's a couple of things I want to share with you. First, let me know that you're here by putting where you're from. And hi, Pam. Thanks for joining me today from Seven Valleys, PA. I really appreciate it. And thank you to Katrinka, who already posted her question. So I am going to be answering questions. So if you don't currently have a question, post what it is that you are working on. What's your manifestation? Because even if you don't have a question about it, I'd love to know what you're working on. So at the very least, I can send you some good energy and help support you on that level. Like, what is it? If it's too private, I totally understand that. But if you're willing to share it with us, I would love that. And I am going to write it down and keep track of what people are working on. And then the other thing I'm going to say is post your questions, because I'm here to answer your questions. I've carved out this time for you early in the morning for me. And if you're here and you're watching it on replay, thank you so much. You can still post your question and you can still post what it is that you're working on, because I want to know what you're working on. I want to support you in that. I love, love, love helping people to manifest and to know that you can do it. The most important thing, the biggest thing, is getting it in your mind that you can do it, that it's natural for you. And this is a big piece of what I'm going to be talking to you about today, is about this whole creative manifestation process. What is that? I'm going to be sharing with you why connecting with the divine feminine is so important. It's like the key, at least it's been the key for me, of helping you in your manifestation process. And I'm going to also be sharing with you something I shared in my podcast a couple of weeks ago, which is Mother Mary's 4 steps or 4 keys to manifest anything. And it's the process that I follow that's really helped me to manifest all kind of great things. Okay, so people are saying that they're not hearing me. Let me double check that. Can you guys hear me? You don't hear anything? Let me check. All is good. Thank you, Angel. Okay. So I'm not sure what's going on. So if Angel can hear me, then I'm okay at my end. Something might be going on at your end. So thank you, Angel. You sure are an angel. I really appreciate that. So I want to say thank you to Pam. I want to say thank you to Diane here from Franklin Lakes, New Jersey. Hello. Hello, beautiful Angel from Millersville, Maryland. So happy, so grateful that you're here. Some of you I know, some of you I don't know. The ones that I do know, I know you're already amazing manifestors and have done really amazing work. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about me, and then I want to dive in and answer your questions and find out what it is that you would like to know. Let me just change this here. Okay. So I'm Reverend Frances Faden. I am an interfaith, well, technically interfaith minister, but I'm calling myself an interfaith priestess because I really honor and connect with the divine feminine. And that's my goal, is to help people connect with that divine energy in whatever form it works for you. I'm a manifestation mentor. I work with highly sensitive and highly creative entrepreneurs and people who are on their journey as light workers, here to bring more light to the planet. And I love, love, love helping people like you to get really tangible results. And whether those results are something more inward, like you feel more confident, or you you love yourself more, whatever that might be, or if it's an outer thing, like you're manifesting the career of your dreams, you're writing a book, whatever it might be. It doesn't matter to me, because it doesn't matter to spirit. The only thing that matters to me is it true for you? And so I've been on this manifestation journey consciously. I think we are all manifesting everything. So right now, if you look at your life, everything that's in your life that you're currently experiencing, you have manifested. You have manifested everything that's going on. So the home that you're in, whether you like it or you don't like it, you have manifested it. The car that you drive, whether you have one or you don't, that's a reflection of your manifestation. The people in your life. And what's so helpful is when you start to recognize it. Now, we tend to filter and be like, oh, but I don't like my car. I don't like my house. And then we tend to minimize, like, oh, but I'm not really happy with it. I want you to first start with recognizing that you are an amazing manifester. You're already manifesting from the time that you're born. You are already calling things into your energy. And what is manifestation? Manifestation is the process of things going from the invisible realm into form. And then eventually they go back out of form again. And that is the cycle of life of things come into form, they live in the realm of form, and they go back out again. And so when you can consciously pull things from the invisible into your reality and you're doing it and you're aware that you're doing it, that's when your life becomes really miraculous, in my opinion. So I started my journey when I was like 16. And the first book that I read was called Creative Visualization by Shakti Gawain. And that book was all filled with techniques of things that you could do to visualize. But for me, a funny thing would happen. Every time I would try to visualize something, and she'd say, okay, imagine yourself in your dream car or whatever. Whenever I would do that, it would change into something else. And I didn't know at the time that I was a channeler. I didn't know that that was what was going on. And every time I tried to see something, it would turn into something else. And I didn't know that that was the universe and my own higher self guiding me. I just thought I was bad at it. But I've been focusing since I was 16, 17, 18 years old. I manifested my first car. I had it in my mind of like, I was going to get this car. I did everything I could to try to, get this car. And what ended up happening was the neighbors across the street saw me trying really hard to like get this car when I was 18 or 19 years old. They gave me a car that they had. So the first car that I manifested was actually given to me, which I was like, whoa, how did that happen? Now, my mind could tell me, oh, but you didn't manifest, that car that you wanted. But I did manifest, and I manifested to the point that I was able to at that time. And then here we are, and we are growing and expanding. So, creative manifestation is working in conjunction with the feminine frequency, with that feminine energy, with the divine feminine, and being able to evolve. Manifestation is not linear. You don't like, oh, I'm here and here's my house and I got there and I'm done. And this is the thing that Mother Mary's been guiding me to really share with people is that manifestation is like an ascending spiral, like a stairway that goes up like that. So it's not like, boom, I manifested and I'm done. It's actually part of your spiritual growth. As you become more confident in your ability to be this channel, as you become more comfortable and confident in your ability to say, this is what's true for me, I would love this, and then bring this into your reality and then have it be your experience, you're growing in your spiritual mastery. You start to understand who exactly you are and what exactly you are. And that is what life is all about, in my opinion. So I had been on the fence about this for a long time, saying to Mother Mary, should I talk about it? Should I not talk about it? I love talking about manifestation, but I really love talking about Mother Mary. And I was like, and she said, they're the same, like talk about them together. And as I thought about it, I'm like, oh, I get what she's saying. You really can't have one without the other. You need to connect in with that divine feminine energy. And that's what brings you on your spiritual path. The more spiritually connected you are, the more you're able to manifest. Now, here's the conundrum. How come all the spiritual people I know, a lot of the light workers are broke or they're not making very much money, or they have a day job because they don't have a lot of confidence that they're going to be able to support themselves? Why is that? Because there's some kind of a cross current. There's some kind of a belief telling them, oh, I can't do it, or it's not good to be spiritual and have money, or whatever it might be. And anytime you have a cross current, that's going to slow down your manifestation process. So creative manifestation is using all of your creative faculties, and it's especially using your feeling center, letting yourself really feel something. Because if you think and you think and you think about something that you think that you want it, but it's not really true for you, it's not going to have the juice to manifest. It's just going to be like a surface level type of thing. You might get it, you might not get it. But when you have something that you feel really strongly about and you have an emotional connection to whatever that thing is, that's when you start drawing the resources to you and the opportunities for you to have whatever that might be. So that's part of it. And you can work with any aspect of the divine feminine that you want. So let me get to a couple of questions, and I'm going to check in, and then we're going to talk about what Mother Mary has shared with us. Okay. So let's start with Katrinka. So thank you, Katrinka. Katrinka is saying she can't make it today because it's 6 o'clock in the morning on the Pacific, and I understand that. I will be doing more of these and making them at times where people from all around the world can join us. And she says, how can I manifest a healthy, cancer-free kidney? And blessings to you, Katrinka. I've known Katrinka for a long time, and she has been working with this. So the first step in the creative manifestation process is exactly what you're doing, which is saying, this is what I'm going to show you, the 4 things that Mother Mary says. The first thing is to say yes to whatever it is that's in your heart. So what is in your heart is to have a healthy, cancer-free kidney. I would just not even talk about the cancer, and I would just say, how can I really manifest that healthy, that 100% healthy kidney? What can I do? Right? So that is saying yes. We want to do what Mother Mary did and say yes to Archangel Gabriel. So the universe is offering you the opportunity. Would you love to have a healthy kidney? And the first thing we want to do is say 100% yes. Yes, that is the thing for me. Now, it's tricky because sometimes you might think that you're saying yes, and you have a little bit of mixed feelings about it. Like, is it really possible? I don't know. But you want to recognize that Mother Mary didn't say to Gabriel, well, you got to tell me how first. She said, really? Me? Like, I don't have that. Like, and then he said, let me show you. And then she said, okay. And she gave a full on yes. And then she got herself into an environment with other people who were having miracles. Now, I am being guided to share with you, Katrinka. You've been on my mind because I have come across a really powerful doctor named Dr. Brooke Goldner. You can find her here on YouTube, and she helps people heal from all kinds of things. And she herself had lupus that was affecting her kidneys. And her protocol, which is super simple, really simple to do, highly effective for people. So I'm just giving you that resource, and that might be how you just manifested having a healthy kidney, is if you connect with Dr. Goldner and you do her protocol, which is really simple. I've been doing it myself and experiencing profound healing myself. That might be an option for you. So the first thing you do is you say yes to it. Second thing you do is you eliminate any cross currents like, oh, I don't know if it's possible. Can I really do it? Or any mixed feelings that you have. Like, if I have a healthy kidney, am I going to expect myself to do some things that I don't want to do? Maybe people are going to want more from me. So as long as you don't have those cross currents, then you act as if I have this healthy kidney. You act as if you keep all your attention on that. And then the last thing that you do is you develop what Mother Mary calls happiness habits, which you're keeping yourself in as high a vibration as you can. Now, what that's going to do is, if there is a doctor you need to see, if there is a medicine that's helpful for you, if there is a treatment that might be helpful for you, it will come into your awareness. And if you are able to just heal it like that, that can happen as well. I'm not going to limit you. All I know from my experience is when I put myself in that energy of keeping the end in mind, acting as if, the universe starts to rearrange itself to bring me whatever those things are, whether those are resources. And I have had things heal like that. And I've also had things where I've had to go through a process because that's just been how it's needed to be for me. So I hope that answers your question. And if you do have any other questions, let me know. And if you want any more information about Dr. Brooke Goldner, her website is called goodbyelupus.com. And she's got a book called goodbyeautoimmune.com, which is the one I've been reading. And it is so helpful. So that's a resource for you. All right, let me see if anybody else has any questions. Okay, nobody else. All right, you guys, nobody has a question. So I wanted to know, what is it that you're working on manifesting? How are you doing in your manifesting process? Are you feeling kind of lost? Are you able to manifest? What's been going on? I'd love to hear about it. So I'm going to go over those 4 steps again, just to give you a little bit more in depth at what Mother Mary said. Is the first step is to say yes to whatever it is, like a full-on yes. And what would that full-on yes be for you? So for me, I I'm saying yes by showing up here and saying, it's been my dream to have a radio show since I was a little kid and to be able to talk to people and inspire people. One of the questions I would love for you to answer, I'm just remembering, is Deepa wanted me to ask this question is, if you had the ability to call in and ask me your question, would you be interested in that? Because there is a technology that I just found out about where I could take call in people that call in and answer their questions, which would be so fun for me to be able to answer your question. Would you do it? Or nah, would you rather just put it in the chat? I'd love to know from you if that's something that you'd be interested in. So for me, this is me saying yes to saying, okay, let me say yes. Let me show up. Let me do the thing that I really want to do, which is be of service to spirit, help people with their manifestations, channel Mother Mary, do everything I love doing, and making it available to a worldwide audience. So this is me saying yes. The second thing is to eliminate any mixed feelings you have, any cross currents that you have. So my example, the mind chatter that I have is like, oh, nobody's going to show up, or nobody's really interested, or blah, 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 or whatever it might be. And I was like, okay, so I worked with my coach and I was like, all right, my coach, here's my issue. And she helped me work through it. And then I was like, yeah, I can totally do this. Absolutely. And then the next is to act as if, just be in the energy of being that. What are the things that you can do? So what did I do? I scheduled this call. I'm like, yep, I'm going to do it. I'm going to schedule it. Going to send out my email. I'm going to show up 100% as if there are thousands of people on this call, and I am here to serve you because that's what I'm saying yes to. And then keeping myself in that higher vibration. What are my happiness habits? So, I've had some that have kind of, been, and then I'm looking at some new ones because I'm evolving. We're all on the spiral staircase, right? Manifestation is a spiral upward process. It is an upward process of growing and evolving. So here's the thing. The life that I have right now was my dream 20 years ago. 20 years ago. So I manifested that car. What else did I manifest? I manifested moving to New York City when everybody said, you can't afford to live in New York City. And I got an apartment by myself. And that's where I manifested the new seminary, where I became an interfaith minister, which has been my great joy to fulfill that desire. I manifested moving to California when I really didn't have a lot of money, and I ended up moving to California. And from moving to California, one of my biggest manifestations is my wife Deepa, and I did exactly this. Is I got really clear. I said yes, like, all right, I'm ready to find my life partner. I said yes to it. I got rid of all my nervousness about it, any thoughts that I had about it. I met her online actually. So I took action. I was like, all right, I'm going to fill out my little online thing. And 24 hours later, I met Deepa. 24 hours later, I went through the process. I said my little prayer and I said, all right, angels, go find her. And I met her 24 hours later. So I manifested Deepa. I manifested my spiritual path that I've been looking for and my spiritual teachers, manifested living in a spiritual community and getting to meet these amazing living saints from all over the place, manifested going to India and going on pilgrimage to Italy, manifested my beautiful new car that I have, manifested this cross-country trip that we were going across country for 4 months, and manifested this beautiful home that I live in now. We were living in this tiny apartment for several years, and I just couldn't see. I had all these cross currents. I couldn't see a way to do something different. And finally, I was like, this is what I want. And I said yes to it. I got myself into a really high vibration and found it 2 days later. This process works, my friend. And the acronym is YEAH, YEAH. Because when it happens, you're like, yeah, yeah. When I found this house that is 3 times the size of where we were living for a couple of $100 more than what we were paying in this beautiful area where I can walk to these beautiful gardens. Well, I don't walk to the gardens, but I can walk in the gardens pretty much every day of the week if I want to. It's quiet. It's just gorgeous. It's like I'm so grateful. And what I can share with you is that the things that I've wanted have shifted over time. And that's where that creative evolutionary process comes in. because what you wanted 20 years ago, you probably are not wanting now. There's probably something different that your heart is really longing for. And staying present with yourself is part of that process. Like, what's really true for me now? What's really true for me now? Now, I'm getting a message to share with people. Mother Mary's wanting me to share this is be mindful of the things that you are asking for, making sure that they're the real things. A lot of times people will say, oh, I want to manifest X amount of money. But what they're really wanting is freedom, or what they're really wanting is, like for me, it's like, I just want to feel relaxed, or you think that this thing is going to get you eventually here. And when you do that, you jam up your system because you're not really going for the thing that you actually want. Now, there's nothing wrong with being like, hey, if you want a ton of money, awesome. Make sure that's the thing that you actually want, rather than thinking, if I get this, then I'll get the thing that I want. Let yourself go for the thing that you really want. Let yourself ask for the thing that you really want. All right. So let me see if thank you, Angel. So Angel said that she would love the radio call-in feature. I'm so grateful to know that, because I think that would be so fun. It would be so fun if I was like, all right, Angel, you're on live. What's your question? So I'm going to look into it, and I'm going to see if that's something that we can do and manifest that, because I would love to be here. Wouldn't it be fun to be every week, just, being able to take a call? What are your questions about manifestation? What are your questions about spirituality? What are your questions about miracles? What are your questions? I love answering questions. All right. So Pam has a beautiful question. Thank you, Pam. I'm going to read your question. How can I eliminate anxiety about doing well and creating a happy business where I can guide people to health and wellness, and then to guide them to health and wellness and travel? Or are you traveling, or are they traveling? So I'm a little bit confused. So let's start with the first one. How can I eliminate anxiety about doing well? So I'm going to break up your question, because you actually have a couple of different questions in there, Pam. And that's part of what might be creating some cross currents for you, is that it's not 100% clear. So if I'm not clear when I'm reading your question, the universe is probably not going to be clear. So eliminating anxiety about doing well in your business, creating a happy business. Okay. So the first thing is to say yes to it and know that you can do it. And the biggest challenge that people have is believing that they can do it in the first place. So I would say to you, what does it look like to have a business where you're doing well? And let's leave off the anxiety. It's like, what would it look like for you to have a business where you're doing really well? How are you helping people? How are you working with people? Like, what is it that's going on with that? What would that look like? So I'll give you my example. Is I want to have a business, which I do have, which is, how can it be fun? Doing things that are really fun. And so this is an example of something that I'm doing. I'm like, well, it would be really fun if I could call people called in and I could answer their questions. I would love that. So what would it look like for you to be doing really well and have a happy business? What would that look like? Are you working with them one-on-one? Are you working with them in a group? Are you taking them places? What's your definition? So you want to dial that in until and how do you know that you've dialed it in? Is when you go, yeah, you have that energy. You're like, oh, I would love that. You got to dial it in. So get like, what would it look like to have that? And then the thing about anxiety, okay, all of the above. Awesome. So the thing about the anxiety is, there's a couple of thoughts that I have about that for you. One is, anxiety can kind of be a pattern. It can be something like your nervous system just has a tendency to do that. And if that's the case, I would work with somebody who helps do something on a somatic level. So I work with a therapist myself who does EMDR. I forget what EMDR stands for, rapid eye movement something. But specifically around anxiety, trauma. I have a lot of grief from my past that I've been letting go and releasing it from my body. It's not just your mind, it's from your body. And so anything that comes up for you, so having a daily practice to help you to feel better. So if we take those four things, you've said yes to it. One of the cross currents is the belief that maybe you can't have it, whatever is underneath that anxiety. The anxiety that I used to have when I worked with clients was, what if I'm wrong? What if I don't know the answer? What if I can't help people? And I snipped that in the bud by saying to myself, I'm not here to be right. I'm here to be helpful. And my intention in my business, when I work with people, whether it's on YouTube or it's working with people one on one, whatever it might be, is to be as helpful as possible and to really help people help themselves. And that makes my anxiety go away. And I also know through working with Mother Mary that she knows things that I don't know. So if you're not relying on yourself so much and you're tapping in to that frequency, it can really help to calm you down. Now, I would do some things to help me get calm right in the first place. But what I don't know about you, Pam, is, are you just starting out? Or are you currently working with people and feeling anxious as you go? So whatever that is, I would get some help for that. Now, sometimes, people might be saying like, oh, I thought manifestation was about just things miraculously happening. That can be the case. And sometimes we're led to the next step in our healing process. One of my core beliefs is that success is a healing path. It's a healing path. Whatever we have going on with us is an opportunity for us to heal even more deeply, to open up more deeply, to receive even more love, guidance, whatever it might be. So to help yourself with the anxiety, to have that clear vision of what it would be for you. And do you love helping people, guiding them to health? Or do you really love travel? Or do you really love both? And how can you combine those things? What would it look like to combine those things? So I'm getting a message here for you, which is, how can you combine those things? Is it possible for you to maybe work with a company? There's this great company, I think they're called Spirit Journeys, where you could say, I want to take people to Bali and I want it to be a healing retreat. Can you set that up for me? And then they tell you what to do. You tell them how much money you want to make, and then you just invite your people to go. So I don't know where you are in your process, but what I'm hearing is it's not one or the other. It's, how can I do both? How can I bring both of those together? Amelia, thank you so much, saying I am helpful to people. I appreciate that. That's my goal, is to really be as helpful as possible for people, and in a practical way. I have 2 planets in Taurus. I'm a Gemini, but I have 2 planets in Taurus. So I'm like, I want tangible results. I want it to be really helpful. So I don't know if that's helpful for you, Pam, or not. One thing that you can do is, I'd be happy to chat with you. Anybody who wants a little bit more help, you're welcome to go to my website and set up a miracle meeting, and I can just chat with you about this and give you some ideas about some things that could be helpful for you. I know you're probably, not looking to work with me, but I'd still be happy to chat with you if you want to chat about it, because you absolutely can do it. And when we start allowing ourselves to go for what we actually want, like, how can I bring these 2 things together instead of doing them separately? Allowing yourself to charge what you need to charge, that's a big piece of it. Being willing to receive what you need to receive. Again, light workers need to be well supported so that we can do the work in the world that we're here to do. And that's really important. So thank you, Pam, for that question. I'm not sure if I answered it completely, but I'm happy to talk to you more about that. All right. I don't know if Amelia has any questions, but let me see if there's anything else I wanted to share with you. All right. So about that divine feminine frequency, that divine feminine energy, I will share with you. I will share with you that I had a visitation. I experienced a visitation from Mother Mary in 2012, which really changed my life. It wasn't an instantaneous change, but it changed my life in a significant way. And what I noticed was, it was a lot easier for me to do the channeling work that I was doing. I had already been working with people, already talking to their chakras, already doing really profound intuitive work. And then when I started working with Mother Mary, she started bringing everybody else. And I started being able to really channel beings, even if I didn't have a personal connection with them, as long as that was helpful for my client, I was able to do it. And again, that's my number one thing, is to be helpful. So when I started working with Mother Mary, she changed the way that she was guiding me and changing the way that I did my energy work. I do energy work really differently than I did it then. She changed the way that I was able to do my channeling work. She upgraded me. She plugged me in. So every time I connect with Mother Mary, I'm plugging in to the highest frequency that I can. And if we take that word yeah, and the last one is the happiness habits, you can actually flip that around and be like, connect in with the highest frequency that you can every day. And whether that is listening to one of the meditations that I have here on YouTube, or you're listening to my podcast, or you have your own prayer practice, or you're listening to other things that work for you, doesn't matter to me. My goal is to make things available for you so that you have them and that you're able to come back to them and do it and use it as much as possible. So connecting with that frequency could be Mother Mary, could be Kuan Yin, goddess of compassion. I also connect in with the energy of Lakshmi, who is the Hindu goddess of abundance and prosperity, but not just material prosperity, like do that. Tapping into that frequency will be really, really powerful for you. All right, so we have a question here from Dar. Hello, beautiful Dar. Nice to connect with you. She says, I have a new apartment in a new area. It's nice, just has a lot of challenges, both practical and because I've lived here before. How do I know to go from here? I don't understand your question. How do I know to go from here? So you have a new apartment. It sounds like you're not that happy with your apartment. The question is what would you love? The question the universe is always asking you is, what would you love? So when we think about Archangel Gabriel coming to Mother Mary, it's called the Annunciation, but Mother Mary always changes it and says, call it the invitation. Because the Annunciation sounds like it was an announcement, like this is what you're doing. And it wasn't that way. Archangel Gabriel came and said, God has an amazing plan for you. What do you say? God has an amazing plan for you. The first thing he did was honor her and say, hail. He honored her as the being that she was. And right now, Archangel Gabriel is guiding you and honoring you and saying, hello, beautiful being, the beautiful child of God. God has something amazing in store for you. What do you say? Are you going to say yes? So what we want to do to invite that energy, and that energy, Archangel Gabriel shows up as the desires of your heart. Every time you have a desire, something inside of you that's like, I like my apartment, but what I would really love is this. You want to take a look at that. So the place I was living before was perfectly fine. It was just teeny tiny. It wasn't horrible. It was really well maintained. We did well there for a long time. But I kept getting this feeling of like, I want to live somewhere quiet. There was a road that was right by where we lived. And in the summertime, all the motorcycles would go by and I never kept my window open. It's like I wanted quiet. I wanted to live somewhere quiet, somewhere peaceful. I wanted to live somewhere where there was lots of resources for me to take care of myself. I wanted us to have enough space so that Deepa could have her art studio. The whole third floor downstairs is her art studio. And I could have my space and I could have my, like, I knew what I wanted. I just didn't know how to get it, but I got really clear. And what I had to do was I had to let go of the idea that it had to be in the same county where I was living. And as soon as I said, all right, I'm going to open myself up to my mother. And then I woke up the next morning and I was like, oh, what about this area? And I went online and I found the house the same day. Boom, like that. But eliminating the cross currents is what needs to happen. So I would say, Dar, get really clear about what would you love? Where do you want to live? How do you want to feel when you live there? And that's the creative piece. You want to get in touch with the feeling. I knew that I wanted to go to bed at night and have it be really quiet. I wanted to feel relaxed in my home. I wanted to walk in my home and have it feel like a sanctuary. And it does. All those things are true. So I would say for you, if you want a new home, take a look at what you would really, really love. And then on the inside, I'm getting a message for you. Work on the cross currents that tell yourself that you don't deserve it. If there's a part of you that feels like everywhere I go, I have challenges, take a look at that belief of like, my life gets to be easy. My home supports me. I'm allowed to have everything I want and need. All of those kind of things. All right. Let's see if there's anybody else that has any other questions. So I want to hold for you. So I'm going to hold for Dar that she's living in this beautiful place. I'm going to hold for Pam that Pam has this amazing business that is supporting her, having fun and is fulfilling, and that she's traveling. I'm going to see you traveling, Pam. And we are going to see the energy of Katrinka, completely healthy, having her beautiful, healthy kidney. And not just her kidney, Katrinka, but all of you, your whole body shining like the beautiful temple that she is. If anybody else has something that you're manifesting that you want me to pray for, put it in the comments, because you know what? I'm going to end with that. I'm going to end with, why don't we do a little prayer? One of the things that Mother Mary said to me, because I do these prayer circles where we're praying for the world, for world peace, and I will continue to do those. But Mother Mary said, people are so used to praying about their problems. Start praying for their dreams. Teach people to start praying for their dreams and not just their problems. And I was like, okay, I'm going to get on that. So we're going to do that right now. So I'm going to give you a minute. If you have a dream or a goal that you want to be included in our prayer process today, put it right here in the comments. If you're listening to this later and you want me to hold this for you, then put it in the comments anyway, in the replay. And I will always come back and I will check and I will add you to my prayer manifestation process and we will pray for you. All right. So if there are no last questions, just double check here. All right, everybody. So let's get ourselves into a comfortable position. I'm just being told to remind you that here on my YouTube channel, you can find my podcast on Mother Mary's 4 steps to manifest anything. You can find on my website, Manifest Your Heart's Desire with Mother Mary. That is a beautiful meditation I have on my website. Go to francesfaden.com and you can download that if you haven't done that already. And then I have several other things that are here that you can use. And if there's anything that you want, if you say to me, hey, Reverend Frances, I really want you to do a meditation on this, I take requests. You know, I used to be in a band. I don't know if you know that, but I used to be in a band. I love taking requests. So if you say to me, I really would love to have a meditation on your YouTube channel about this, or one that I could buy on your website on this topic or this thing, let me know, because I want to create stuff that you want that's going to make you really happy. And it's going to be really, what's the word? Helpful. I want to do things that are really helpful for you. All right. So get yourself into a comfortable position. We're focusing on our breathing. I'm going to put my hand on my heart chakra. This always helps me to get a little bit more centered. And we're going to recognize that we are always connected with the divine feminine, especially as women, but not only women. We're always connected to the divine feminine. We always have that energy. As soon as we put our hand on our heart, we can feel her presence within us, as us. We can feel that power. We want to remember that the divine feminine is the power. The divine masculine might be the idea, it might be the spark that gets it going, but it's the divine feminine. It's that feminine energy that brings things into form. Feminine energy is the manifesting power. And just start to feel that energy within your own body. Allowing yourself, if you're a visual person, you can feel the energy of the Divine Mother standing behind you, whether that's Mother Mary or Kuan Yin or Isis, whatever works for you. Feel her standing right behind you with her hands on your shoulders. And she is going to magnify your manifestation intention. Now we're using all of our faculties, part of the creativity process. We're using all of our senses. We're using our inherent creative faculties. Then we're going to start with feeling. So you're being guided to let yourself feel your own heart's desire. Feel that's heart's desire. Feel it already fulfilled. So for Katrinka, she would be feeling her healthy body. Maybe she's feeling how strong she is, how vibrant she is. Maybe she's feeling so much energy. Maybe Pam is letting herself feel successful and feel that fun that she's enjoying, knowing that all she has to do is create a space and the healing will happen. And why not create that space in Greece? Letting yourself feel that energy. Letting Dar feel her beautiful home that's peaceful, where she can relax, supports her completely. And if you have your manifestation that you are ready to receive, just offer that into the group right now and feel your own manifestation. Feel the fullness of it. How relaxed you are, how happy you are, how fulfilled you feel. And as you feel Mother Mary's energy standing behind you, the divine feminine in whatever form works for you, knowing that your desire is God's desire and there's no conflict here. Knowing that if you have the desire, that means it's possible for you. And allowing yourself to say yes to your desire right now. Saying yes to what you would love. And as we connect in and we let ourselves feel the support of Divine Mother, knowing that she immediately, just being in her presence, eliminates any cross currents that we have. We relax in her presence. We're already embodying and acting as if it already is. We know it. I am this energy. I put myself in this circle and I am blessing millions of people around the world right now. And those people are also blessing me. And then creating that habit of every day tuning into this energy, being as happy into that high frequency of energy as we can be. And as our collective energy magnifies the energy of these intentions, knowing that these manifestations are already done, what do we say? Thank you. I'm so grateful. Thank you. I'm so grateful. Thank you for my miracle. Thank you for my manifestation. Thank you for my healthy kidney. Thank you for my business where I'm traveling and helping people. Thank you for my beautiful home that supports me. Thank you for my beautiful business serving people all around the world. Thank you for letting me be truly helpful and reaching those people who are ready to step into their greatness. Thank you. Thank you for giving me this desire and giving me the confidence to know that if I have it, it's for me to do and it's guaranteed to be successful. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so grateful. All right, and just gently saying thank you to Mother Mary, to whoever you connect with, feeling how big your energy field is every time you connect with that energy, coming back into your beautiful body temple completely. Take a deep breath with me. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. All right, my friends. Well, thank you so much for being here and spending this lovely morning with me. It's been so fun. If you'd like me to do this again, I'd love to help you with your manifestations. Please let me know in the comments whether you want me to help you out with these kinds of things even more, because I would love to. Let me know if you'd like to have that call-in feature. If you would, would you actually call in if you had the ability to chat with me and to talk about all things Mother Mary, manifestation, spiritual journey, being a light worker, whatever it might be for you. I just want to help you as much as I can. So if you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe. So awesome when I get to connect with you. And if there's anything else I can do for you, let me know. God bless you, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.